Welcome back to my economics class. In this class, I will show you the effect of simultaneous increase in demand and decrease in supply. Case 2, a situation whereby the proportion of the increase in demand is greater than the proportion of the decrease in supply. Now, let's draw the initial equilibrium. This is how to approach this. The initial equilibrium, I want to draw that for this quantity axis. This is price, this is the origin. So let's have our supply curve S1, S1. Then we draw our demand curve D1, D1. And this is the equilibrium where X1 and D1 intersect. So we call this P1, we call this Q1. Now, let's assume there is an increase in demand. That is demand curve shift to the right in a greater proportion. So let's say we have the new demand curve is now around here. So we have D to D2. Okay, you can see demand curve has shifted from D1, D1 to D2, D2. Now we now have a decrease in supply of a smaller proportion. We have a decrease in supply, so we ensure the gap. This gap is wider than the gap we are going to have here. So now let's say we have our supply curve here. We have H2, H2. This is the new supply curve. This arrow indicates a decrease in supply. So here, this is where you can see this is point where we have our new supply curve and the new demand curve intersect. We call it E2. Okay. Now the corresponding price here, we call it P2, then the corresponding quantity. So we call it Q1. Here, we call it the corresponding quantity, we call it Q2. You can see the effect is that look at from the initial equilibrium to the new equilibrium. The price has increased from P1 to P2 and the quantity has also increased from Q1 to Q2. Summarily, when there is an increase in demand and this increase in demand is accompanied by a decrease in supply, such that the proportion of the increase in demand is greater than the proportion of the decrease in supply, the effect will be that the price will rise and the quantity will also rise. When we have increase in demand that outweigh the decrease in supply, okay, so the effect will be that both the price will rise and the quantity. Okay, this is the effect. So, okay, don't forget to like the video, drop your comment, and also share the videos to benefit others. Thank you. Don't forget to share.